It is 5:30 in the afternoon, and you're listening to the Mailbox on Love 101 FM, the family station. I am your co-host or the host for today. Yeah, we just want to say, Kevin, wherever you are, blessings, bro. Remember, the Mailbox is brought to you today by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosrich Company Limited. Today's topic is about overcoming disabilities as a man. And the truth is, disabilities present challenges to millions of people around the world. While some disabilities are harder to overcome than others, there are some pretty remarkable stories out there of people who didn't let their disabilities keep them from achieving great things. Hearing about incredible achievements in the face of obstacles is inspiring no matter the circumstances. When these accomplishments are credited to people with disabilities, it can even be more mesmerizing because the majority of people can't even relate to the starting point, let alone the end result. Here's an example of an incredible person with jaw-dropping determination. It doesn't get more inspiring than Nick Vujicic. I hope I pronounced that right. An Australian-American Christian evangelist. Vujicic was born in 1982 with no limbs. He often recalls that as a child he suffered ridicule and discrimination. Things got so bad for Nick that at one point he even attempted to commit suicide. Yes, he did. With time, however, he learned to see his potential. Nick taught himself to improve to accomplish several skills, including playing musical instruments and using a computer. In 2005, Nick founded Life Without Limbs in order to spread hope and inspiration around the world. He currently gives motivational talks around the world, has written several books, and is a regular on talk shows and TV program. What an inspiring gentleman. This is a program designed for men with guests who are men, hosted by men, and is aired every Wednesday, unless it's a public holiday at 5:30 p.m. right here on Love 101, the family station. I'm Courtney Morrison, sitting in today all by myself. Kevin is not here. I'm sure he's off somewhere enjoying his anniversary. Happy anniversary, Kevin, wherever you are. And to all our listeners, thanks for making it Love 101, your station of choice. We're talking about the topic today, overcoming disabilities as a man. Can a man with a physical disability function effectively in society? Are families, workplace, and churches properly prepared to deal with issues relating to individuals with a disability? Big questions. I'm hoping we can have them answered today. And it's going to be an interesting program. And we want persons to tune in. Call your spouse, call the uncle, call the cousin, call your daddy, call a friend, and tell them the mailbox is on. And we're dealing with a most interesting topic, overcoming disabilities. Our guest this evening is Mr. Hartford Carr, otherwise called Junior. I'll tell you a bit about him. Mr. Carr attended Herbert Morrison Technical High. He's a correctional officer, a teacher, photographer, videographer, and sound engineer. Mr. Carr is an active member of the Kingston Open Bible Church on the Washington Boulevard in Kingston and is married with 2 biological children. Man, I go on, don't it? And so I just want to welcome Mr. Hartford Carr. Are you here with us? If you're here, let me see. There you go. How are you, sir? It's good to have you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program, The Mailbox. Thank you for being here with us, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon to you too.
You probably need to get just a little closer to your mic. It's a little low where you are. And so we can get to hear
Can
you
you hear me
better.
any
We don't
better?
want anybody to miss all the important things you have to say today.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Nope.
Hearing you. but you may just have to project a little just to ensure everyone can hear. So, welcome to Radio Land and welcome Mr. Hartford Carr Jr., as he's called. And he is a man with a disability,
Are you
but
hearing me?
yes, hearing you much better now.
Are you
Thank you.
hearing me any better?
Much, much
Good, good.
better. And today's program is centered around men with disabilities and how to overcome. And so he's here with us today. I want to give a shout out to those families. We know so many families are seemingly mourning. There's the death of the 8 persons in Clarendon, and in total 17 injured. And it must be very disheartening to many. And so we continue to pray, lift up this nation before God, and to speak against the violence and the injustice, and hoping that there's a breaking soon that we can see. We also have offer condolences to the family of Gary Cranston. His wife, Marva Cranston, passed. And we just want to say also to the Fellowship Tabernacle members at the passing of Lady Marcel Thomas. Please, our prayers go out with you. We also want to encourage persons. We have a well known person, Paul Bartley, who is in need of blood and our prayers. Let's ensure that we help as far as we can. It's something we want to remind persons that we're here to help. And man, remember, we want to hear from you. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Remember, you can leave your comments via WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Also, we're on TikTok at Love 101 FM. Ladies, we love you. And just remember, you can be a part of this program by texting us on that very same WhatsApp line. But remember, no voice notes or no calls. Those are reserved for the men. The question is, can a man with a physical disability function effectively in society? You can participate in the program by leaving a message via WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube pages. Please feel free to do so. Sir Hartford, if you don't
Yes, sir.
mind, we might have to call you Junior today, but Hartford Carr,
Okay.
we
That's
normally
right.
do what we call a shout out. After three, we shout Monday, so we count 1, 2, 3, and then shout Monday. So I'm inviting you to do just that as I count to three. 1, 2, 3, Monday!
Monday at 4. Yes.
Yes, man. A Monday is a Monday, over there's a Monday everywhere. Indeed. I also want to give a shout out to the 14 to 18-year-olds. Fabian, if you hear me live, from the Missionary Church. Indeed, you had Fort Camp and it was exciting. It was great. And so, before we head into the main discussion, though, it's now time for us to get into the segment we draft. Before we do that, though, we want to ask the question. It is, can a man with a physical disability function effectively in society? Yes or no? This question is yours, Mr. Carr. Can a man with a physical disability function effectively in society? Let us hear from you.
Okay. Good afternoon, audience and friends. Um, with God, all things is possible. With God, all things is possible. It don't matter who you are or where you come from. All things is possible, right? Um, one of my motto is that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The thing is that in life, we live amongst people that sometimes will look on us because of where we come from and who we are, that we may not be able to do the things that we think we can do. So it becomes a challenge at times, But if you believe in the God you serve and believe in yourself, then it can become possible. It can become possible. Yes.
Powerful answer. With God, all things are possible. And Mr. Carr does believe that that is so. And we should all believe that that is so because, indeed, as Creator, Indeed, as the one who does everything, it is no doubt and leaves no doubt in our mind. So we want to ask you a few questions as well, but we're coming up on a break. But just want to ask you firstly, before we even get further on, what was life like for you growing up? Were you born with disability, or did the disability occur after birth? Tell us, how did you traverse and navigate life growing up?
Well, I was growing up in the country, St. James, Hanover. That I went to school in St. James, lived in Hanover. Normal country boy, you know. Life was good as a youngster. I was very athletic. I used to do a little running, used to ride cycle a lot. Um, and I was very active in school. Eventually went on to UTech back in the days, and CAS, well, then back in the days. And I left and went into teaching, just like my father, followed his footsteps. But then I then entered into the Department of Correctional Services. It was just 5 years after became a correctional officer. I met in a serious accident and lost both one of my arm and one of my leg on the spot of the accident, on the scene of the accident. I tell you, I can tell you, other than in a lot of pain, I was wondering at the point in time, what did I do that was so wrong? What did I do? So I was questioning God in the midst of all those pain, you know, because I tried to do things the right and proper way, you know. And at the point in time when I was in an accident, I was actually assisting someone to go to the hospital, and after carrying them back home, met in the accident. So, you know, what did I do? But, you know, I've learned not to question God's
Mm-hmm.
best, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was when I learned that waking up back in the hospital after my ordeal, the person who came to visit me was the person who rescued me on the spot. Her name was Dr. Espinosa. She was actually passing by the location, one of the first person passing by at 12:30 in the night, and insisted on stopping to assist me. And so she did, reduce my bleeding and got help to carry me out to the hospital. And I learned that she was one of the main doctors, maybe the senior doctor who work in emergency. You know, who could it be but God?
Let's stick a pin right there. We're up on our first break. It's
Yeah.
5:45 in the afternoon. We're talking to Mr. Ashford Carr. We're talking for the top. We have for the topic: men, disabilities, and men. Can they function effectively in society? We'll come right back after this break.
When you say phosphorus, you say electrical. SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say phosphorus, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say phosphorus, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Phosphorus is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Maniville, and Montego Bay. Phosphorus.
Kingston and St. Andrew, the Jamaica Customs Agency comes your way this Friday, August 16, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for Customs Meets the Community Town and Community Tour Edition. We set the tempo at Downtown Parade, raise the pitch from Papin Square to Mandela Park half a tree at 2 p.m. So join us for all things customs, imports, exports, charities and auctions, contactless clearance at our new mobile app, Customs Connect. That's Customs Meets the Community, reaching our customers where they are.
This is it. What you can't afford to miss. The Jocelyn Lewis Foundation presents The Redemption, August 16th, 2024. featuring the headliner, American renowned artist Jekyll Carr, and so many others. Ticket outlets: Fontana Pharmacies Islandwide, La Vega Pharmacy, St. Jago Plaza, St. Jago Pharmacy, Burke Road, Spanish Town, Genius Pharmacy, Port More. Info line 842-5637 at Jam World. See you there.
Grace Food's got the taste that moves you. Grace is bringing family, food, and fun together in one place. Get ready for Grace Food Festival on August 24th at Home Gardens. Gates open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Enjoy a day filled with culinary delights, kiddie zone, enough giveaways, back to school village, discounted Grace products, and live performance from Ding Dong and much more. Grace Food Festival, August 24th at Home Gardens from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Ready to experience 6 times more freshness in your clothes? Try Downy Scent Beads. Its fragrance is so amazing, you have to sniff it to believe it. Try Downy Scent Beads today. 6 times more freshness versus using detergent alone.
And he knows my name.
Here is your opportunity to connect with someone who will listen, pray, and give guidance. It's the Ministry of Counseling and Prayer of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Please call 876-220-6474 or 876-332-7956. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please talk to someone if you're finding it particularly challenging to cope during this period of crisis. Someone is waiting for your call. Please reach out today, 876-220-6474 or 876-332-7956. It's the telephone counseling and prayer ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. A reminder that somebody cares. Endorsed by Love 101.
When I come to the end of myself, Father, carry me. I am a man, I am a man, I am a man.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. This is the program, The Mailbox. I'm Courtney Morrison. I'm sitting in with our guest for today, Mr. Hartford Carr, otherwise known as Junior. He's a correctional officer, videographer, photographer, sound engineer, and a member of the Kingston Open Bible Church. He's a gentleman who met in an accident. He was telling us his story just before the break and lost an arm and a leg. He's now being admitted to the hospital and being treated by Dr. Espinoza. May you pick up back the story at that point, please?
Yes, bless you. Right. So, as I said, it is only God who could have sent the most qualified person on the location at that time, one of the first person to assist me in my ordeal. And I must say she has been around me ever since as a very good friend. But that was where it started. There are times I feel I'm not going to wake up tomorrow morning because my blood count so low. It was like 2.5. I heard I lost, greater portion of my blood, right? And living on the edge. But, I realized that while I was in the hospital there, that God was still using me. Because so many people came around and saw me and say, despite the condition, I'm still smiling and I'm still motivating and I'm still encouraging and I'm still even helping people to do things, and even more so the patients around me. Some of them die around me, some eventually, got discharged, but I helped so many around me. Even a colleague from my church, Levy, I remember a few weeks after that, he lost one of his leg and he came, it was the bed that is close to me. Wow. And he was a bit down more than me, and with my encouragement, he thanked me stay to give him, so it was not me, but it was God. It was God. Yes. It was God. It has been challenging. I've lost a lot of friends.
You lost friends?
Yes. I've lost a lot of friends, believe it or not. But I just say, boy, we are humans. You understand? And I've
Yes.
gained a lot of friends.
Okay,
I've gained
good.
a lot of friends. Yes, I've gained a lot of friends. Um, I actually end up in a divorce right after that. So
You've
it
been
was a
through a
depression.
lot, sir.
Yes, yes. I went through a lot of depression, if you would say so, a lot of depression. But God helped me to stay strong in the midst of all this. And living alone for a while in the midst of my whole situation and thing.
Yes.
But I stood strong, and He led me to. He taught me, say, look here, despite this, I need to help myself. I need to be strong for others who are looking up to me. I need to set an example as a Christian, right? And I just did as God said. I learned to drive my vehicle all over again. I've learned to carry myself back and forth. I learned to push myself in the wheelchair. I've learned
Hmm.
to walk again. I've learned to write again, and I eventually learned to get back into my job and work again. It's not just one, two. It's been a challenge, but when I remember when I learning to walk, my foot would in the process would rub until it bleeds, and I just don't stop because I need
Wow.
to learn to walk. So it's determination
Yes.
and will. And I tell you something. Some of the people who I'm glad I encourage is the people like myself, because the
Hmm.
majority of us who have been like myself is the one who need the help even more so, because we are humans, and when we are have these challenges, we tend to give in. You understand? So when I can
Yes.
help someone like myself, I feel real good. You know, I said to myself, Father, what can I do in a position? How can I help people like this? And I'm surprised up to this date that so many people come back to me, somebody I don't even know,
Yes.
and it's the fact that tell me that I'm an inspiration to them, because
Yes.
what
Yeah,
they're
man.
going through, just seeing me and hearing from me and see what I do, it gives them hope that they can. I've learned that, remember, I'm a person coming from an able body to a disabled body. And I learned that we as humans can do so much more. And it was not until I lost my arm and leg that I realized there's so much more that I can do, which I thought I
Yes.
couldn't have done. You understand? And that's why we must not look down on disabled people,
Yes.
but we more focus on what we can do with what we have, rather than look down and try to help them to do what they can do. Don't look down. In terms of look down and discrimination, oh my God, it come left, right, and center.
Hmm.
But what I do, I stay focused on the few people, or the people that are who encourage me to go, and I just stay focused on them. And don't
I
focus on the
was
people.
just about to ask a question. You have
Yes,
been through so much, and I believe support is one of those great
yeah,
attributes that are necessary to help. Who were some
definitely.
of your greatest support? Tell us about that, because I mean, divorce, you lost friends, you gained some. You also said, but
Yes.
tell us a bit about the support system that you had around you. Who came, who helped? Is there anyone you want to even give a shout out to and say thank you so much?
I mean, family will be support, of course, but there's one main person I want to speak with, maybe two, who aren't family, and who I just met a year or 2 years before, or on the moment. The first is Dr. Espinosa. I don't know her before all of this. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you. Go ahead,
Good, good. Yeah,
Mr. Khan.
Dr. Espinosa. I don't know her before this ordeal, and she treats me as if I was an evil person. She treated me as if I was normal. She encouraged me, say I can. I remembered after I used to do photography and videography before all this, and I remember when I came out of hospital, I was told that I won't be able to walk, and I won't be able to move around because, in a wheelchair, because I have one arm and one leg. And she saw otherwise, and just the few words was enough to make me take that and turn that into reality. And of
Yes.
one of my first job as a photographer after losing my arm and leg, she gave it to me at a baby shower. I will never forget that. And it was just a bouncing ball from there on, where I just pushed forward, where I've been doing, I've been creating memories for great memories for many people ever since, and it made me feel fulfilled that I can do something to make someone else smile despite my challenges.
That's excellent. That's excellent, Mr. Carr. You know, one of the questions also that I want to ask you is for the, well, you said two persons. That was only one. Who was the second?
My past commissioner, Major Reese.
I know that I have met you.
Yes, yes, Major Reese.
I'm saying your face is so familiar.
Oh, there you go, there you go. Right. So Major Reese is a man of high caliber, right?
Yes.
And for a simple person like me, I remembered the amount of visit he gave me at the hospital. I couldn't even count them. He
Mhm.
would come even in the middle of the night when he get the time to do. You
Wow.
understand? Just to
Yes.
encourage me. You understand? And it tell you, it was a great push. It was a great push. And me worrying about getting back into my job, it was a challenge. But you know, I just need to do what I have to do to show them that I can, and I did.
Yes.
And it became possible. So caps off to him. You understand? I mean, it's not that he handed out anything to me, but I showed myself that I was competent to do what I need to do, and it became possible. So and then it didn't stop there. It went on. Moving myself around, driving. You know, even challenges of getting into another relationship again, because I got married after that, was a great challenge because I was deeply hurt after the first relationship. So I kind of gave up where that was concerned. But speaking to some virgin more time, you know
Yes.
yes, 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 yes,
That's
yes,
so
yes,
good. If you're
yes.
just joining us, we're talking to Hartford Carr, otherwise called Junior. He's a correctional officer, photographer, videographer. And the topic is overcoming disabilities as a man. He lost a leg and an arm during an accident, but he attributes God that all things are possible with him. We're up on our 6 p.m. break, and so we are going to come right back after these messages. Soon come back.
Man, I am a man, yes.
Ready, set, go! Race down to Singer to get golden deals on appliances, electronics, and furniture. Be a part of the action with LG 4K Ultra High Definition televisions. Get a free microwave with the purchase of an electric stove. Stay cool with inverter ACs now at the lowest prices this summer. Get freezers starting as low as $39,995. Only Singer has 120 days for cash and 9 months no interest. Shop today for unbeatable credit. Conditions apply.
Get the skills and certification that equates to jobs and money worldwide. In 3 to 4 months at the Distinction College, start day, evening, and Saturday classes in pharmacy technician, bartending and mixology, project and HR management, cosmetology, airline ticketing, and sales. No subjects required, no age limits, no entrance tests. Register this week and win an additional course for free. Or visit us in Kingston, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios, or call us at 876-356-4167. Distinction College, the school of champions.
And he knows my name. Here is your opportunity to connect with someone who will listen, pray, and give guidance. It's the Ministry of Counseling and Prayer of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Please call 876-220-6474 or 876-332-7956. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please talk to someone if you're finding it particularly challenging to cope during this period of crisis. Someone is waiting for your call. Please reach out today, 876-220-6474 or 876 332-7956. It's the telephone counseling and prayer ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. A reminder that somebody cares. Endorsed by Love 101.
When I come to the end of myself, Father, carry me.
Welcome back to the program, The Mailbox. I'm Courtney Morrison here with you. Kevin is not here with me. You may miss him for the next 2 weeks. But indeed, we have with us our guest, Atford Carr, and he is here. We're talking about overcoming disabilities. As a man, he lost his leg and an arm. He also lost some friends and went through depression. But with God, all things are possible, he says, and he has overcome so many things. God sent the most knowledgeable doctor at the very place of the accident that helped him. Such an inspiration. But Mr. Carr, are you treated any differently by members of society when they encounter you at work, out in public? Are there any challenges and any difference in the way that you are treated? And do you take offense, or do you help persons to help you? Because sometimes persons may get offended.
That's a question that I'm scared to answer, but I'm going to answer it because you know what? I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend nobody, but the truth is the truth. Um, I tell you a story, and this story I'm going to tell you, it happens very often to me, very often to me in society, and I think other disabled people can can agree with me. Not saying that everybody's like that. Definitely not so. Not so. Definitely not so. You have some very nice people. They will reach out to you in positive way to assist you. But the majority of people, I went to a gas station and I was washing my car, and the car was on the stand being washed, and a lady came with a nice white car. She came out the car and she went into the gas station and bought something. Then when she came back in, I was in my wheelchair because by that time I wasn't walking as yet. Um, she jumped into her car and was about to drive off. Then I realized her long dress, white dress, was on the ground. A lot of it was outside the car, about to rub into the grease on the ground. So I wheelchair to the car and to tell her that her dress is on the ground. And all she could tell me is to get away from her car. She don't have anything to give me. You know, and she eventually just drove off, skid off, and kind of messed me up a little bit. We need to give disabled people a chance and don't put them down. We are humans just like everybody else, right? We have challenges and we can be of great use. A lot of us, even more so, you know, if we are given a chance, right? I can tell you when people see me sometimes, they feel that I cannot even I can't even comprehend things because it's as if because I've lost half of my body, my one arm and one leg on one side, it seems like one of my brain, half of my brain is also gone. So I'm not even competent to think as a normal person. So we need to give disabled people a chance and respect them because they are still a whole human being, especially in their mind. Okay.
I love what you said. We need to remember that you are still all human beings. There's a thought that came to my mind that there is more to the human side of us. It's not just about physical disabilities, but there can be also mental and emotional disabilities. And in overcoming them, you overcame a divorce, you overcame depression. Is there anything you think the church can do better than it is doing now when it comes to helping persons to overcome disabilities? Is the church playing its part? Is it doing enough? Schools doing enough? Your impression on that?
Well, I must say the church is doing, the school is doing, but in terms of enough, there's much more can be done. All right. Um, the problem is that it doesn't just take certain individuals in the church or in the school who care for disabled to make it happen. It takes the whole body of people, right? Everybody to come together. And I think we need to be more, the society need to be a more of disabilities. So with people who have these challenges, so we can respect them more, right? And so they can be easily integrated into society as a normal person. Because so that is what I think the the church or the school should do, to educate the society on disabled people, to show them that we can, okay, and we are able despite our challenges. And not only that we can, but we can contribute in a positive way, where, don't no disrespect, where some disabled people are not able to do so, right? Because we have a different way of thinking, or we have different ideas or whatever, right? So we can contribute in a positive way and a good way to society. And we think the church, the school, the government need to bring us in the limelight and educate the public of these are people with disability, and show them the positive side, right? I agree. I agree that you have disabled people who can become nuisance sometimes, because some of us just sit on the sidewalk and beg, and then the majority of people passing the road say, "Oh, that's what disabled people are about," and that is not true. That's not true. I understand. And if you want to help, you can pull that side up, personal side, and call and talk to them. I do that and encourage them, because when these people go through some very, very um, bad situation, they become depressed and give up, and they just need a word of motivation to make a step to do to become positive contributors to society.
We're talking to Mr. Hartford Carr. I'm Courtney Morrison. The program is the Mailbox. We're talking about overcoming disabilities, and we know as the Mailbox, we're talking about men, especially. Do you believe I just want to go back a bit. We have a generation that is younger, and we have a generation that may be older, and then there's your peer group. Uh, do you find you're treated differently by different age groups? If yes, what age group tend to be the most understanding, and what can we do for the group that is the least understanding when meeting persons with disabilities?
I don't think it's the group, it's the age group. I don't have that experience. It's the individual. It's the
Okay.
individual, yes. So I will meet a young man or a young woman who is like 20 or in the teens, and their approach to me is absolutely so nice. Maybe because they have experienced somebody who's close to them has been disabled, or they've been studying about it, but they're more aware of it, so they treat me as if I'm, so to speak, have all my limbs together, and I'm normal, right? Right.
Yes.
Where you have the person who is older, who's just ignorant of the fact that I'm okay. That I can do a lot of things that they think that I cannot do, and just shut me out without giving me a chance to to be a part of some productive things in society, right? So it doesn't have to do with the age. I think it more has to do with the individual, and of course, it happens vice versa. You have young people who just go around and call, "Oh, you want it, oh, you want it," and mock you, right? And don't realize that it's yeah, you're really hurting somebody real bad, right? So I think it more depends on the individual and not necessarily the age group.
Thanks for that answer.
Yeah.
Our men tend to become overwhelmed and by disabilities, by shortcomings. What would you say to those men that can offer to them, some form of encouragement, upliftment to say, this is how you navigate, this is how you go. We see Sir Nick being one of those men who born without limbs and become such a great motivational speaker. What can we do for our men here in Jamaica?
Men. Well, as men, we see ourselves as providers. And whenever we are faced with a challenge, or let's say a disability of just simply not working, we're not able to work, it messes up our egos, it brings on depression, it affects. We come to the other sex, they can relax on somebody for a while. We as men, most of us are not like that. We want to go out and achieve to provide for, right? So yeah, right. So it can become it can be really, really pressuring on us when we are faced with disabilities. Um, my words to disabled people, disabled men, males, men, I tell you, not to give up, not to give up. The money news starts from within. It starts from within, right? Not just what is on the outside. And from inside is okay, and you have all your faculties together in your mind, so you can do what you need to do, right? Even if it's just simply talking, you can use your mouth, you understand, to inspire people, to encourage people, to give instruction, to teach people. You can do something. There is so much things out here that can be done. And don't ever lock yourself to one thing and say, okay, that's all I can do. All I can do is mechanic work. All I can do is, there is other things you can learn, which you can perform better with your disability, right? Presently, I'm not able to work on a truck or do mechanic work like I would want to do, but I still will change the oil on my car because I can manage, but I can't drop an engine. You understand? But I still do help myself wherever I can help myself, and then other things are out there which are disabled. Like for example, right now I'm working in the prison, and I work as a I'm an officer, but I work as a teacher, and I'm able to change a lot of people's life here as a teacher in the institution, right? And so they can be reintegrated into society as productive citizens, right? And I feel good of myself doing that, So don't, as men, don't give up. There is so many things out there that we can do. What you must do, just don't say you can't. Just always looking for a different route, a different way to go out and see how you can earn or do something positive, so you can be, you know, positive provide. You can be providers for your family and for your society at large, right? Yeah.
Alrighty. We're up on our final break. The program is the mailbox. I'm Courtney Morrison here with you. No Kevin today. And my guest is Hartford Carr. We're going to come right back after these messages. Soon come.
When you say phosphorus, you say electrical. SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say phosphorus, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say phosphorus, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Phosphorus is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Phosphorus.
Me, busy as usual, so I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my One JN Passport app. It's a whole new level of convenience and access to services within the JN Financial Group. Just a few taps on my smartphone and box. I can update my personal information, open a JN Bank savings account, and even apply for an unsecured loan. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The One JN Passport app. JN will help you find a way.
Every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on Love 101, you're invited to listen to The Revival of Truth with Bishop Augustine Odie. There is life beyond the surface, life that is divine, life that is eternal, and you can hear the truth of God's word and go deeper in purpose. Revival of Truth with Bishop Augustine Odie, Sundays 2:30 to 3 p.m. on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to the mailbox. I'm Pastor Kurt Morrison sitting in with Mr. Hartford Carr, aka Junior. Just want to remind you that the mailbox is brought to you today by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosrich Company. The topic is overcoming disabilities as a man. Mr. Carr is a photographer, videographer, sound engineer, and a correctional officer. He lost an arm and a leg in an accident. He went through a divorce. He's now remarried. Mr. Carr,
So,
you have encouraged persons in this state, but there are other things I was alluding to earlier, that even with physical disabilities, there are other things that can disable us, our emotions, our mental state, how we feel. Speak to somebody out there now. You have an open forum that may even have thought, I can't go on in life. Suicidal thoughts are coming on. I can't give up. They may not know the God that you know. How do they move on? They may have children, as you were saying just before we got to the break, to provide for families, to be in a relationship. We don't know how you are disabled. You may be paralyzed from the waist down. What do you say to these men, to these disabled individuals who are there, who needs the support? You told us about the support you have, because there are men who think, oh, you need to just fight in your own strength. But support means that which helps you to stand, when you're not able to on your own. What further can you say to those who are listening in today in this final portion of this program, to our men to overcome disability? You may be in a wheelchair, you may be in a bed, you may have lost both arms or both legs. Tell me, what do you say? Suicidal thoughts are coming. That keeps coming back to me. I can't continue. Any scripture verse, any word. If you want to preach, because I know you help with the devotions at the correctional center that you're at.
yes, yes. All right. No, listen to me. I must say, I, I've been talking for almost over half an hour now, and I must say that in terms of depression, giving up, negative way, trust me, I have been there. I have been there. But it's not to stay there. And what helped me not to stay there is that it's not only prayer, which is so much most this is most necessary, but to start to focus on the positive little things that will help me to get out there, including the people. And anything that is pushing me away, negative things, avoid it, put on a blinkers to it, and focus on the people and the things that will push me forward in a positive direction. I tell you something. There was a wedding that I got in to do, big, nice wedding. I was glad. I said, okay, I'm a big boss now, getting a big wedding to do. I got the contract in October, but the person did not want to pay until the appointed time. So the person went on to the appointed time to pay. And at the appointed time, I eventually met up with the person, and the person figured out who I was and saw where I was. It was 2 days before the wedding. And could I say, up to the day before the wedding, I called the person, saying, no, look here, I'm sorry, but I gave it to somebody else because so and so and so. And I figured out because the person found out that I was disabled. It so happened that the day of the wedding, the person who they contracted did not turn up. And they called me. And when they called me, I said, "What's going on?" They said, "Please come because the person's not here." I was angry, but then I didn't use vengeance, right? I went to the wedding. And when I went to the wedding, halfway to the wedding, the person came and they still want to stop me. But it was said that I did most of the picture I must go through. So I eventually did the wedding. When I did the wedding, about to deliver the picture, the people still don't want to pay me because they don't think I'm just still not good enough. I copied the pictures, fixed them up, put them in a package, and carried to the person. I said, "Here are the pictures, but I need my money." And before 6 o'clock the following morning, the person took all the pictures, paid me all my money, and paid me 25% more to get some more pictures. The person gave me 4 weddings for that year, additional weddings. Now, listen to me. I'm saying you must leave vengeance to God. Don't carry burden with you. You with your disability, that's enough burden. You understand? Forgive and love. You know, that is what moved me forward. Whether it is with family, whether it is friends, whatever, that is what will push you forward. Carrying anger because somebody put you down, because somebody, it doesn't. When you smile more, you attract good things and good energy, right? So I'm saying to men, no matter what you are, no matter what you are in disabled thing, when it comes on to negative energy, avoid it. Positive energy coming from people, grab it and hug it out. And don't forget your God, right? Don't forget your God. He's your backbone. He's your backbone, and He's the one who will lead you in the right direction. Yes, sir.
Awesome advice. Awesome advice. We're wrapping up and just want some final comments from you as well, because I do believe you're an inspiration. I do believe your story is one that should be heard far and wide, especially to our men. They need to hear your story of not giving up, of pushing on, of overcoming, you know, uh, of just walking through it. I don't know, somebody may just be tuning in. He overcame even not wanting to re-enter relationships because of a divorce and because of many things that were happening at the time. But Mr. Hartford Carr is here and a testimony to what it means to overcome. Indeed, this is just God. This is just good. And what he has said to us is something that I'm hoping that we're all listening to, especially now. Uh, and so, my final question to you: how do persons get in touch with you if they want to speak with you for any words of advice? Because I believe you have so much in you that you can share. How does one go about doing that?
Okay. All right. Um, well, my email is hotphotos11@gmail.com, which is HATTPHOTOSS number 11 at gmail.com. And my number, right, is 432, of course, 876-432-3882. All right.
Any social media platform, or it's just an email?
I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and I'm known as Junior's Classic Photos. Right,
Go slowly with that. Say it again. You're known as what on Facebook?
Junior's Classic Photos.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
on Facebook. Right, and I must leave this last word. I've been using a prosthesis to move around. All right,
Yes.
and they are very very expensive, and it's a long story. But I tell you the first one, how I got my first prosthesis, they're very expensive. It cost the company at the time 14,000 US for that prosthesis. And I didn't have half that money. I tried to raise some money, but it was never enough to purchase it. And it was purchased abroad. And I decided, say, no matter what, I'm going to try to move around and do what I don't. I'm going to try and hop around, use the one that is cutting up my foot and try to walk around. And I didn't stop. And it went on for like 2 years, 3 years, until somebody just out of the blue saw me and said, "Look here, man, you're an inspiration. You're trying even though you're in pain. You're trying even though it's cutting your foot. Look here, I know somebody." And Long story short, a few months later, they contact me and say, look here, I know a church in the States that can sponsor the foot. And I got that foot, 1400, 14,000 US. And I use it for another 10 years to walk up and down. You understand? What I'm saying to people is that when you can do something, don't let the challenges stop you. Continue. And once you continue, listen me, the Father will provide. Don't stop. The minute you stop is when it ends. Yes. That's it.
Wow. The minute that you stop is the minute it ends. Don't let anything stop you. Do what you have to do. Those are the words of Hartford Carr, aka Junior, correctional officer, videographer, photographer, teacher, and sound engineer. We were talking about overcoming disabilities as a man, the psychological effects it may have mentally, emotionally, how you may become disabled. But he told us a story of how to overcome, and he encouraged many. He told us how to get in touch with him as well. So, just checking, do we have any social media comments at all? Anything that we have for today's program? Yes, no? All right, there don't seem to be, there isn't any. And so I just want to say thanks to you, Mr. Hartford Carr, for being here with us. Okay, there's a comment. We're just seeing one. Good evening. I met Mr. Carr in 2014. He did my wedding at the RGD. Awesome gentleman. There you
Bless
go.
you.
You are definitely an inspiration, sir.
Bless you. You're most
Karine
welcome.
Henry says, thank you, sir. You motivate me a lot.
Most welcome.
And so you are an inspiration and a motivation that I'm sure will uplift your spirit. So thanks to Dr. Nadine Blair, Operations and Programs Manager, Jermaine Johnson, our producer, Timoy Butler for technical support. And for you, sir, you were amazing. We thank you so much for being here with us and taking the time out. So indeed, so we bless you, and we
Yes.
have high regards, and I'm sure those who are listening in are just there. We end the show with this quote: for every disability you have, you're blessed with more than enough abilities to overcome your challenge. Nick
Amen.
Vucevic
Amen.
says that man
Amen.
is born with no limbs. So this was the program designed for men with guests who are men. The mailbox was brought to you today by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosrich Company Limited. So catch you next week. Yes, same time, same place, 5:30 p.m. right here, Wednesday, August 21, on the mailbox. Next week, Monday.
Hey.
Have a great evening.
Strong man, integrity man, I am a man. Hey man.